Now, there's been a lot of debate around the world about ultra-processed foods, the consumer group which says they make up around 60% of our diets.
Question: if two bottles look the same, why does one make your stir-fry sing and the other taste like salty tap water? The answer is in how it's made. Traditional fermentation versus quick chemical shortcuts, and it shows up in every bite. In this countdown, I'll expose 5 everyday bottles that quietly fail your food, then reveal the few that deserve a permanent spot in your kitchen. You'll learn how sodium levels, tamari versus shoyu, and mushroom-enhanced styles shape real umami so you stop over-salting and start cooking smarter. Number 1, la choy. Do you think all soy sauces are brewed the same? They aren't. Here's the truth. The label can look classic, the color can be deep, and you still get a shortcut in the bottle. La choy shows up everywhere with that dark pour and bold branding. It looks like it belongs in your cart. But the way many bottles get their soy note leans on hydrolyzed soy protein and sweeteners to fake what real-time and microbes do. That shortcut tastes loud up front and hollow after. Salt hits first, caramel color reads as roasty, and the umami shows up late and thin. That's fine if you want takeout nostalgia and a dipping sauce. It's weak when you need it to carry a dish on heat. Chemical hydrolysis breaks soy proteins fast with acid or enzymes. You get amino acids in a hurry, but you skip the slow ferment that builds aroma esters and gentle acids. Those are the things that round out flavor and help it stick to food. Without them, you pour more to chase depth that never lands. Try a quick stir-fry. You splash la choy and it tastes sharp and salty. So you add ginger for lift, sugar for body, and stock to soften the edge. Now you've used more pans, more time, and your veg lost a bite while you were fixing the sauce. That's a flavor tax. It's like using instant coffee when you needed a slow pour-over. You get brown, you get bitter, but you don't get the bloom. If your fried rice needs 3 extra glugs to taste like anything, that's your red flag. If your braise reads briny unless you bury it with garlic and chili, that's another. Real soy should help you cook less and taste more. Thin soy makes you work. Here's the kicker, the fix is simple. Swap in a naturally brewed bottle and you'll use fewer drops to hit savory balance. Body improves. Salt slam falls. Your aromatics show up cleaner because the base isn't shouting. Bottom line, if your current bottle forces you to keep correcting, it's not saving you money. It's stealing flavor and time from every meal. Reach for a brewed option, season once, and move on to cooking, not patching. Now at number 2, a bottle that sounds safer, but still trips up home cooks. Number 2, Kikkoman less sodium. You see the green cap and think healthier. Here's the truth. Better for salt intake doesn't guarantee better flavor. With Kikkoman less sodium, the trade-off shows up in the pan and on your plate. Reduced sodium sounds smart. Same brand trust, less salt. But salt does more than taste salty. It lifts aroma, it steadies umami, and it gives body. When you cut it, the flavor can drift. Some pours taste muted, others lean a bit sharp. You feel the gap right away. So you pour more to get back what you expect. Now you've erased the sodium savings and used more product. That's the hidden tax. You think you're doing right by your heart, but the habit of extra glugs pushes the numbers right back up. It also muddies your recipe because you're chasing sensation instead of balance. To keep the profile in line, reduced sodium formulas often add water and acids like distilled vinegar or lactic acid. That move helps keep a bright edge and a hint of the tang that slow brewing builds. But there's a downside. Those tweaks can thin the mid-palate and shorten the finish. The sauce smells fine at first, then falls off when it hits heat or strong aromatics. Test it in a marinade. Mix garlic, citrus, and a touch of oil. With the less sodium bottle, the soy note can fade after an hour. You pull the meat or tofu and it tastes clean but light. You reach for more seasoning at the stove, add salt, add another splash, and now both cost and sodium creep up. It's like turning down the volume and then leaning closer to the speaker. You strain to hear, but you never get the base back. That base is umami. Depth, warmth, the part that makes a small dose carry through cooking. If you keep re-adding salt or soy to wake it up, you've lost both money and control. Your dish swings salty, then flat, then salty again. Seniors and anyone watching blood pressure need steadier hands, not a bottle that pushes you to chase the line. Here's the kicker. You don't need more sauce, you need denser sauce. Use a naturally brewed regular shoyu or a solid tamari, but use less. You get real depth, clearer aroma, and fewer redoses. Next up, the rock bottom price that costs you flavor twice. Number 3, great value. You grab the jumbo bottle to save $1. Here's the truth. A low sticker price can hide a high flavor tax. Great value. Soy sauce looks like a win when you cook a lot and need volume, but the way it performs in the pan decides what you really pay. Store brands promise value, and this one sells it with size. On weeknights, that feels smart. But when the sauce leans salty with a thin aroma and a short finish, you start fixing it. You add oil for glaw, sugar for body, chili for kick. Now, the deal pushes you to spend more ingredients and more time just to get a basic savory note. That's when savings flip. More oil adds calories, more sugar dulls edges, more spice masks instead of builds. Your food gets louder but not deeper. You chew, you taste salt first, and then nothing. The dish stalls because the base doesn't carry. Here's the kicker. High sodium without balanced acids and aromatics reads as one note. Umami should linger. It should round the bite, trail a little, hold through heat. When the core is thin, heat kills what little there is, so you keep chasing flavor with extra pores and side fixes. Test it on fried rice. A few drops of deep brewed soy bloom the grains and lift the wok scent. With a flat sauce, you pour and pour, the pan steams, and the rice drinks water instead of savor. Your scallions fade, your egg turns rubbery, and the wok breath is gone. You didn't season, you drowned. It's like repainting a wall with bargain paint. You keep adding coats and it still doesn't cover. You spend more product, more time, and you still see the flaws. That's not thrift, that's waste. If more never gets you better, you're in a false economy. You think you control cost, but the bottle controls you. It nudges you toward bigger portions, extra sides, heavy sauces, and a salt load that seniors and anyone with blood pressure goals don't need. Bottom line, stop paying the flavor tax. A $1 to $2 step up to a naturally brewed bottle cuts how much you use and sharpens body, aroma, and finish. You'll season once, keep calories in check, and get clean, steady umami in fewer drops. Now at 4, an import lookalike that still falls short. Number 4, Aldi's Bramwells. You saved a few bucks, but your soup tastes loud and empty. Here's the truth. Aldi's Bramwell soy sauce draws you in with price, not staying power. The first sip says salty, then the flavor slips out the back door. Bramwell's appeals to busy bargain hunters who cook often. You want a staple you can trust? Weeknight ramen, fried rice, quick braises. But when the base is thin, every fix you add stacks cost and salt. You end up stirring more and enjoying less. If the process is rushed or padded with additives, the taste pops bright salty and then vanishes. That fast fade makes you chase balance the whole cook. You add another splash, then another. Heat drives off what little aroma it had, and the dish falls flat. Now the salt climbs while texture dulls. That's the cycle. You keep seasoning, the broth gets harsher, noodles swell, and veg loses snap. Seniors and anyone watching blood pressure don't need a bottle that nudges you to overshoot. You need flavor that lasts so you can season once and stop. Traditional fermentation builds esters and gentle acids, aroma compounds that cling to food. They help flavor ride through simmer and steam. Shortcuts skip that build, so the sauce can't hold on. You taste it quickly, then it's gone. The pot asks for more, and you pay with salt and time. Try it in ramen broth. You want round savor and a small, soft sweetness. With thin soy, the bowl reads briny. The broth feels shallow, like hot salt water with color. You add mirin, then stock, then more soy. The noodles drink it all and still feel bland. It's like seltzer that's lost its bubbles. Fizz at first, then nothing. You're left with a flat sip and a higher bill. Check your bottle. If the label says hydrolyzed or stack sweeteners, your umami is rented, not owned. That means the core flavor was made fast, then dressed up. It can taste okay cold, then fade under heat and dilution. Here's the kicker. You don't need more soy, you need better soy. Upgrade to a brewed light or standard shoyu. You'll get cleaner lift in soups and dressings, lower salt per bowl, and fewer fixes. Next up, a European label that still misses the core craft. Number 5, Connemex. You see a bold label and think authentic. Here's the truth. Exotic branding can hide a thin core. Connemex soy sauce sells ease and a quick route to Asian flavor, but speed often trades away depth. Connemex markets pan-Asian meals you can pull off fast. Noodles, sauté, quick stir-fries. That pitch fits busy nights. But when the base soy lacks long fermented body, it won't anchor your dish. You end up patching with sugar for roundness, chili for kick, and stock for weight. Now your shortcut takes longer and costs more. If production leans on fast breakdown instead of time, you get the aminos but miss the mellow acids and aroma that real fermentation builds. The result reads salty and surface level. It pops on the tongue, then fades the second it hits heat or dilution. That gap forces you to stack flavors you didn't plan on. That's fine for a sauce kit where layers come from packets. It's not fine for a pantry staple meant to be your savory base. A core soy should carry through a simmer and still taste like itself when you splash a teaspoon into a hot pan. Thin soy can't do that job. Real umami keeps its shape under fire. It holds through steam, oil, and a splash of water. With a weaker bottle, you watch the flavor vanish under wok heat, leaving salt behind. Now you chase balance with syrup and chili paste, and the dish skews sweet-hot instead of deep savory. Run a simple test with stir-fry greens. Good soy gives sheen, warmth, and a small roasted note. With Connemex, the greens can taste watery unless you doctor the pan. You reach for oyster sauce to fake backbone. The veg softens while you fix the base. It's the seasoning packet without the broth. You get color and a hint of soy, but no floor to stand on. If your recipes only work after you stack 3 sauces, your core bottle is the problem. You spend more, add more salt, and still don't get the finish you want. For seniors and anyone managing blood pressure, that push toward extra pours is a risk, not a help. Here's the kicker. Swap to a brewed soy or a mushroom-enriched style that stands alone in a hot pan. Fewer splashes, steadier umami, cleaner meals. Now let's move from throwaways to keepers, the bottles that earn their place. Number 1, Yamasa. Here's the truth. A few drops can replace a tablespoon of the cheap stuff. When a sauce carries real depth, you stop chasing flavor and start cooking with control. Yamasa has the track record to back that up. It's one of Japan's oldest producers, with centuries of craft behind balanced shoyu and clean tamari. The line covers everyday needs: standard shoyu, gluten-free tamari, even a reduced sodium option. So you can match the bottle to the job and keep the profile steady. Yes, you'll pay a touch more and you won't see it in every corner store. But it's not rare. You can find it in major supermarkets, Asian grocers, and online, often in sizes that suit both weeknight cooks and heavy users. That reach matters when you want the same results every time. What you get for that price is steady umami, a light sweetness, and gentle acidity. No harsh edges, no chemical tail. The aroma reads clear, the color holds, and the finish lingers without a salt spike. That balance lets garlic, scallions, and ginger keep their shape instead of getting buried. Here's why it works. Long fermentation builds layers, aromas, mild acids, and a rounded body that hold up in broth, cling in a marinade, and stay present in quick sauté heat. Those layers carry through steam and oil, so a small pour still tastes full at the table. Run it in a teriyaki glaze. Start with a little sugar and a splash of mirin, then add Yamasa. The glaze sets with shine and depth, not a blunt salt punch. You get browning and a clean finish, so you don't need to mask it with extra sweet or chilies to make it feel complete. It's like a well-reduced stock, small dose, big impact. You don't need volume when the base is dense with real flavor. That density pays you back. You use less, you salt less. Your food tastes more like itself. Seniors and anyone watching blood pressure benefit from that control because you're not forced into extra pours to chase a finish that never lands. Here's the kicker. This is value reversal. Pay a touch more, waste less, and eat better. One bottle that does the job means fewer fix-it ingredients, fewer calories from sugar and oil, and steadier results across your menu. Another safe bet if you want organic credentials next. Number 2, Kikkoman Organic. You want better soy without a scavenger hunt. Here's the truth. You can get cleaner sauce, brewed the right way, and still grab it at a normal store. No specialty run, no fuss. Kikkoman Organic keeps the familiar taste you know, but commits to certified organic, naturally brewed production. It uses soybeans, wheat, water, and salt, then lets time and enzymes do the work. That slow ferment builds the savory, slight tang and soft sweetness you expect, without synthetic farm inputs in the grain stream. So what's the gain if the label looks the same and the price ticks up a little? Cleaner sourcing plus the same old-school brewing gives you a steady, honest flavor. You get a bottle that behaves the same week after week, and that stability is worth more than a small price bump when you cook often. The upgrade is practical. Certified organic ingredients mean the crops are grown without synthetic pesticides or fertilizers, and the handling follows strict rules. The method dates back centuries and builds real complexity through natural enzymatic action. You taste balance instead of noise. That helps seniors and anyone watching salt because you won't need extra pours to make it pop. Consistency matters. When a sauce hits the same note every time, you can season by feel. A half teaspoon at the stove, a drizzle at the table, and you land on target. That control protects your budget, your sodium, and your results. Run an easy test on a weeknight stir-fry. Warm oil, drop in garlic and scallions, then add a teaspoon. The pan blooms. You get aroma and umami without a tidal wave of salt. No need to mask with sugar or chase with stock. You cook, you plate, you're done. Think of it like the reliable cast iron pan. No drama, just results. It holds heat, it does the job, and it lasts. This bottle plays the same role in your pantry. You also can find it almost anywhere. Major grocers, big box stores, Asian markets, and online. That reach means you don't have to switch brands mid-recipe and risk a miss. Bottom line, this is a keeper for busy kitchens balancing cost and quality. Spend the extra $1, season with confidence, and cut overpouring. If you're gluten-free or want thicker umami, the next pick is for you. Number 3. Sanjay Tamari. You think gluten-free means bland. Not here. Here's the truth. Sanjay Tamari is brewed the old way and skips wheat, so you get dense umami without the filler effect you taste in lighter soy styles. It's naturally brewed and wheat-free, so it fits gluten-free diets while keeping the core taste of real soy. The focus is soybeans, salt, water, and thyme. That slow ferment builds a darker color and a smoother, less salty profile that lands rich instead of sharp. You get body, aroma, and a clean finish that doesn't nag your palate. Now, there's a trade-off. The bottles are often smaller and a bit pricier than mass shoyu. You pay more per ounce, but you don't need as much. The sauce pulls its weight with fewer drops, so your cost per meal stays in check. For seniors and anyone tracking sodium, that control matters. Here's why it works. Tamari leans on soy solids, not wheat. Less wheat, more soybean means a thicker mouthfeel and a longer finish. The flavor holds on hot pans and in steamy pots. It doesn't thin out when you add a splash of water or stock. That carry-through saves you from repeat pours that drive up salt. Run it in a marinade. Toss tofu or steak with a small amount, add garlic and a touch of oil. It clings. You get browning on the surface and depth inside without dumping in sugar to fake body. The heat hits, the sauce stays, and the savor rolls forward. That's the payoff of a round, concentrated base. Use it in quick sautés and you'll see the same. A teaspoon gives gloss and warmth without flooding the dish. The cooked notes taste steady, not spiky. Aromatics stay bright because the salt isn't shouting over them. It's the heavy blanket in winter, warmth that lasts. Not flashy, not thin. Just weight and calm that keep you comfortable the whole time. You season less and get more savory punch. That's real value. Fewer splashes, fewer patches, fewer surprises. Your pan stays hot, your greens stay crisp, your protein browns instead of steams. Bottom line, for gluten-free cooks and flavor hunters, this is an easy keeper. You get clean labels, real brewing, and strong finish in small doses. Prefer a Cantonese pantry classic with range? Here you go. Number 4, Lee Kum Kee Premium. You want one bottle that can do it all. Here's the truth. Lee Kum Kee Premium. Soy sauce covers light pours, deep braises, and quick dips without fuss. You get steady flavor across jobs, so you stop juggling 3 different bottles just to cook dinner. The setup matters. This brand leans on heritage and a wide catalog, and the premium line reflects that. You get versions focused on quality, built for daily use but with care you can taste. That range lets you match sauce to task and keep a clean, repeatable profile. But there's a question with any big name. Does scale mean bland? Not here. The premium and first draw options focus on aroma, clean color, and balanced salt. That balance gives you umami that lands warm, not harsh, and a finish that stays without shouting. It's strong enough for a braise, yet neat enough for a cold dip. Here's how it develops in the pan. First draw and double fermented styles build layered savor through time, then hold it through heat and steam. You get complexity that doesn't swamp delicate dishes. The salt sits in line, so scallions, ginger, and garlic still speak. That control helps you pour less and taste more. Run the fried rice test. A small ribbon across the hot wok gives color and umami that bloom fast. The grains stay dry, the wok breath stays sharp, and the egg keeps its tenderness. No sogging, no syrup rescue, just clean lift from a short pour. The profile stays useful across methods. Spoon it over silken tofu, whisk into a dipping sauce, or glaze chicken in a simmer. The aroma reads savory with a calm edge. The finish trails in a measured way, so you don't reach for sugar to smooth it out or extra salt to wake it up. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife in your drawer, dependable across jobs. Not flashy, just the tool that works when you need it. Access helps too. You can find the premium line in many grocery chains and online. That reach lets you standardize your pantry, cook by feel, and hit the same note every time without a special trip. Bottom line, when you want range and ease, this is a clear keeper. You get depth, balance, and repeatable results in fewer drops. Last keeper, a craft-leaning tamari with clean labels. Number 5, Eden Foods Tamari. You read labels, this one reads clean. Here's the truth. Eden Foods Tamari keeps the ingredient list short and the method classic, so you get real soy taste without extras that blur the finish. The setup is simple. It leans on traditional brewing and simple inputs: soybeans, water, salt, and time. That slow path builds a calm, rounded profile you can use hot or cold without the harsh edge that pushes you to patch with sugar. Yes, it can cost more, and the bottles are often smaller. That sticker sting is real, but you use less per dish because the umami lands fast and stays put. Fewer splashes per plate means the bottle lasts longer than you expect. Here's what you gain: a steady, rounded savor that holds through simmer and shine. Drop it in a pan sauce and it won't turn thin. Whisk it into dressings and it stays balanced, not briny. That balance keeps herbs bright and oil in line, so you don't chase with sweet or citrus to calm it down. Slow fermentation and clean inputs do the heavy lift. When the base has depth from time, you don't need sweeteners or flavor helpers to fake body. The flavor reads true: warm, clear, and even. That helps you keep sodium in check because you're not stacking extra pours just to feel something. Run a cold test with soba, make a simple dipping sauce, tamari, a touch of water, a hint of mirin or rice vinegar if you use it, and a shave of scallion. The taste is clear and savory, not brackish or harsh. Noodles stay the hero. The sauce does its job and steps back. It's like a well-tuned instrument. Every note rings, no buzz, no rattle, just clean tone that carries without shouting. And here's the kicker. When your base is this clean, you stop chasing flavor with extras. That saves money, salt, and time. Seniors and anyone watching blood pressure gain control, because one measured pour lands on target. Your food tastes like itself, but fuller. Bottom line, Eden Foods. Tamari is a keeper for clean-eating cooks who still want real depth. It's efficient, steady, and friendly to gluten-free needs because tamari is made without wheat. Let's land this with what you should change today. You want a simple rule you can use today. Here's the truth. The cheapest bottles push salt and shortcuts, while the keepers give you real umami in fewer drops. That first choice changes everything you cook. Budget sauce looks frugal, but you pour more to fix thin taste or add sugar, oil, and spice to cover the gap. The savings vanish, and your sodium climbs. A brewed bottle lands fast, holds through heat, and needs less. Trade one throwaway for one keeper this week and taste the change in one meal. Subscribe now and I'll show you what to avoid and what actually earns a place in your kitchen.